Greetings, friends. I'm Dr. Mark Chironna, and as many of you know, I'm not just someone who's involved in the theology world. I'm also involved in the coaching and the psychology world because I've been in the people helping business for 42 years, and I've wanted to enhance people's lives so they can advance confidently in the direction of their destiny. One of the greatest value adds that has come around in the last 20 years in the coaching world is now called ontological coaching. Ontological is a big word. It's used in philosophy, it's used in psychology, it's used in theology. Ontology is the study of our being. And what's interesting is that in the last 20 years, two names from South America, Francesco Varela and Umberto Marturana, discovered in their studies that human beings are observers first. Before they think, before they feel, and before they act, they are observers first. The reality for us in the coaching world is to help our clients discover when they're observing so that their thinking and their feeling and their acting will cause the results they're desiring to obtain to be in line with what they're observing. Here's the challenge. And this is the biggest challenge, that most of the time we're not always getting the results we want in life. And what we do when we don't get the results we want in life is we either redouble our efforts only to find it doesn't work, because insanity, as you know, according to Albert Einstein, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get different results. So what we do when we don't get the outcomes we want is we end up changing either our actions or changing our behaviors, thinking if I change my actions or behaviors, it'll change my results. But research has proven that doesn't work. You can change your actions till you're blue in the face, and it still won't change ultimately the results you're getting if your observations are skewed. What needs to change is the way you observe what you're looking at, because observations plus actions equal results. And that's the great contribution of Marturana and Francesco Varela to the coaching profession. These guys weren't even coaches, but they've revolutionized the coaching profession because they helped us understand that the human at the core is an observer. And most people live their lives on automatic pilot, which means they're unconsciously moving through life, not paying attention to how their observations are determining their interpretations of reality. You're constantly making meaning in every moment of your life based on how you're observing what's going on. And one of the things that you need to discover is learning how to pay attention to the part of you that's observing. For example, when you're facing something that is challenging, something that is unnerving, you could probably see how unnerving it could be. However, if you tell yourself, based on that observation, this is the worst thing that could ever happen in my life, I promise you your actions are going to be less than stellar because you're setting yourself up for self-sabotage. If you, however, would look at the situation and say, no matter how difficult this looks, I choose to see this as an opportunity for growth because I know that adversity always brings me into enlargement. Now, that's a simple shift in what you tell yourself based on how you see what's coming toward you. But when you take that kind of a posture of changing your observation, automatically, unconsciously, your thinking changes, and when your thinking changes, your feeling, your affective part of your soul changes, and then your actions automatically change. All too often, we have just decided to focus on our actions, change our actions, behavior modification, whatever you want to call it, to get different results. Varela and Marturana and all the coaches that have adopted an ontological coaching process have discovered none of that works. What's got to change is the way you see reality. When you make a shift in your observation, your interpretation, the way you're making meaning will shift. And when the way you make meaning shifts, your actions automatically shifts, and then the results you get are exponential in favor of what you really desire. Work with that, and always remember, observations plus actions equal results. When you don't like your results, lay aside the action, go back to the observation, and then make a different interpretation based on a shift in your observation, and watch what happens.